Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast, where I show you how to combine the power of SEO, search engine optimization, and content marketing to build your like, know, and trust factor with your audience, which allows you to get found by the right people and turn those visitors into buyers. No more frustration or confusion, and no more time wasted wondering if you're doing your SEO right. It's time to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your business. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I had myself muted for a second. Hi, welcome back. Welcome to day 2 of our SEO for Beginners training class. And this week we're learning all about how to use search engine optimization to drive free traffic to our website. So no ads, no spending hours and hours on social media, just what do we do? How the heck do we get free traffic to our website? So that's what we're working on. So I'm going to ask that you do the same thing that I just did and silence your phone, close out your inbox, all of that. Unfortunately, my phone is trying to connect over to my watch and I have a call trying to come through. So I'm just hitting go away, go away. So if you would do the same thing so that you're able to focus on what we're learning in today's training class. And I know last night in yesterday's class, we talked about really creating content and a little bit about keywords. And so if you wouldn't mind, I don't have any quizzes for you in the polls today the way we did yesterday, but if you wouldn't mind, in the comments, let me know, did you do that 5-minute brainstorm session and did it help you come up with a few ideas? And then what keywords have you thought about for that first blog post and your homepage? So if you had a chance to do it and kind of play around with it and think about it, if you'll add a few keywords that you were thinking of or the idea that you thought of in the comments, that'll be great. And then we can chat about those as we go through today's training and we talk about SEO keywords, because this is incredibly important because the keywords are generally where I see the most mistakes when people have tried to do SEO on their own and it hasn't worked. This is usually where it's tied to. So I want to help you really understand how we choose keywords when we're doing SEO. So last night's homework was your chance to think about everything. Go ahead and put your keywords, your homework ideas, your blog post ideas in the chat, and we'll discuss them as we go through the training class today. So share your keywords. So what I want to ask about, what I want to talk to you about, and just right now, what is your thought as far as what's the most important thing when you're choosing a keyword? Is it going to be how many people are searching for it each month? Is it going to be what the customer is looking for when they're searching with that keyword? Or is it going to be your ability to rank high for that keyword? So in the chat, just let me know 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you think is going to be the most important for your keyword? Is it how many people are searching for it? That would be number 1. Is it what they're looking for when they search with that keyword? That's number 2. Or is it your website's ability to rank high? That's number 3. So if you go ahead and put that in there, we're going to talk about that as we go through. Thank you for putting a few of those in. I see a couple of you have said the ability to rank high and number 3, which is the ability to rank high. So yes. So let's talk about keyword rules for a minute. You're going to choose one keyword per page, one core keyword, one primary keyword. That is the keyword that you are going to really focus all of your SEO efforts on, and you're going to try to rank that particular keyword in Google so that you get traffic. So you really want to make sure that you're thinking about what your ideal customer is looking for when they're searching with a specific keyword. And we're going to kind of go from there. We're going to use that particular keyword in all of the places that Google is going to look, all of your SEO elements. And I'm going to walk through what those are and how to format them and what they look like in tomorrow's class. You're going to use that keyword a maximum of 2 times on your entire website or your entire blog or your blog and website combined. So this is really important. You don't want to use the same keyword on every single page of your website. And this is another common issue that I see. You want to use different keywords because Google is only going to show your website 2 times for any given keyword search. So if somebody's searching and you rank, Google might potentially show you up to 2 times. They will not show you more than that. So when you use the same keyword on every page, you actually hurt your visibility because now you're only able to show up a maximum of 2 times. Whereas if you have 10 different pages or 10 different blog posts, and those are all ranking and all showing up when people search for different keywords, you now have 10 opportunities to show up in Google search results, meaning you have 10 different chances to get more people to come to your website for free. This is how we scale with SEO, is by having each page be another opportunity to drive traffic. So you also want to make sure that you're choosing a keyword that you can rank for. So those of you who said choosing a keyword that you can rank for, the ability to rank for it, that is correct. That is going to ultimately be the most important. Now, what we want to look at, honestly, is all 3. Is this a keyword that my ideal customer uses when they're searching? And we're going to look at a few examples of that in a minute. Is this a keyword that I have a really good chance of ranking for? And I'm going to walk you through how you figure that out in a moment. And then, is this a keyword that ties to my product or my service? And is there some search volume? Just having a little bit of search volume even is okay. It does not have to be a ton of search volume because we're going to go about this in a way that allows us to get more and more and more traffic. So I do see a question that came in from Melissa. One top keyword and build the page off that. Yes, one core, primary, top, however you want to refer to it, one keyword that ties to that page. And that's what you're going to use in each of those places that Google is looking, because each time Google sees your keyword in those elements, they basically do a check mark and they're like, oh, I know that this page is about this because I keep seeing the same keyword. So it helps your ranking abilities. So how do we choose them? So I know we had a question yesterday about like, how do I make money blogging? How do I make money through my website? So this is really important, you guys. What I want you to understand is that we are trying to drive targeted relevant traffic with our SEO. So by choosing keywords and answering questions and creating content that is helpful and beneficial to our audience, we should be driving traffic that are from people who want what we sell. So we want to make sure that we're choosing keywords that tie to our business and things that are relevant and targeted for us and helpful to our consumer. Ranking for something that is irrelevant is not going to help you because you're going to now get traffic that does not really engage with your website, which is not going to look good to Google. So we really want to make sure that we think about what we're trying to go after, who we're trying to connect with, and how we help them. And we choose keywords and content topics that all tie together. And I teach a lot about this inside of Simple SEO Content, where I teach you how to create a content strategy based on your SEO foundation. So you know that all of the blog posts that you're going to create will actually tie back to your business and they will have search volume behind them. There is an audience waiting for them. So that's what we do inside that class, right? So we're going to move forward. The keyword rules. So like we talked about, search volume is important, but it is not the number one thing. The consumer intent and your ability to rank for the keyword are actually more important. So don't worry if you start doing your keyword research and you see like keywords with huge search volume, but you can't rank for them. Don't worry about it because they're actually not going to be the right ones. And I'm going to show you and kind of walk you through an example of that in a minute. Oftentimes, especially small business owners, we want to go further. We want to use what we call long tail keywords. They're ones that have maybe 3 to 5, maybe 6 words all kind of strung together in a row. There is going to be less search demand However, the consumer who's searching that probably is more likely to convert, and you as a small business owner probably have a better chance of ranking for it. I'm going to show you how we check all of this in a minute. So what I want you to really think about is your brand speak versus your consumer. So these are some examples from the corporate world from when I was at the last agency, because we had a lot of this. A lot of big brands are very, very tied to what they want to refer to their business as, or what they want to call their products. But that doesn't mean that that's what your consumers search for. And so I want you to think, if you ever find yourself saying, gosh, they used the wrong word, or gosh, that's not what I sell, but I sell this and it's basically the same thing. Listen to that consumer and look at what they're asking you. So the very first one was a major outdoor retailer. They sold day packs. They didn't sell backpacks. Within their organization, they said backpacks were for children who go to school. They were for high school kids or college kids. And they were a very large company where they had a sister company within their conglomerate who is the number one backpack company. And they're like, that's for them. We don't do that. We sell day packs for active people and for hikers and for travelers. And, we sell nature backpack or nature day packs for people who are climbing the side of a mountain. Except when you go to Google and you look at the search volume, at least when we did this years ago, nobody searches for day packs. They were searching for backpacks. And this was back in the good old days when Google actually gave us keyword level data. And so I could show this particular client how much money they had made from people searching for backpacks that year versus how much they had made from people searching for day packs. They had made a big old goose egg, not one penny from people searching for day packs, but they had made $35,000 in like the last month from people searching for backpacks. Their president of e-com was very interested in that data, and very quickly they started selling backpacks, not day packs. And they actually changed the name of their product line, changed their website, changed their optimization, all of that to speak to the consumer language. The next one, Plimsoll versus sneakers, that was actually a British brand that was trying to come into the US. They were trying to stay traditional British roots and be a British company competing in the US market. And I finally had to talk to them and say, do you want to compete in the British, do you want to be a British retailer, or do you want to compete in the American market? Because in America, we don't buy Plimsolls. We also don't buy jumpers. This is a jumper, according to them. Women generally don't wear trousers, they wear pants. So it was another thing where we had to do a big research study and show them this is not the word your consumer is using. Business bag versus briefcase, birth worker versus doula. My favorite is children's versus kids. This was also the British retailer for their children's line. Their designer, their owner, had a personal issue with the word kids and did not allow them to use the word kids. However, consumers don't search for children or children's clothing. They search for kids, at least in America. So that was one where we had to work with them to show them. Now, because they were not comfortable using the word kids on their website, they would only do it in the optimization elements. They would only allow it in the title tag and the meta description and the images, nowhere else. They were not able to really compete in that kids clothing market because they were not optimizing using the same term in all of the areas that Google was looking for, which ultimately confused Google. So this is really important. If you have any questions about this, let me know, but you want to make sure that you are using the keyword that your ideal customer is going to be searching for. So when you're going to Google or you're using a keyword research tool, I want you to look and see which term is my consumer using, and then from there kind of pare down to find what is the best opportunity for you to rank for that term. So now we're going to talk about search volume for a second. So shoes, big, huge keyword. We're going to look at a traditional sales funnel. This is not an online marketing sales funnel from email to sale. This is a traditional marketing sales funnel from awareness to decision. So a consumer who is searching with a word like shoes, which does have a ton of search volume. It's like 1 to 3 million searches a month for the word shoes. And you might look at that and think, gosh, if I could rank for shoes, that would be amazing. The reality is Zappos Amazon, potentially Nordstrom, Finish Line. I'm trying to remember who else shows up there. It's not you and me, my friend. We're not going to show up there, and that's okay. Because the consumer searching for shoes doesn't really know what they're looking for yet anyway. Now, as they get a little further in the process, consideration, maybe they're looking for women's shoes. And I did have a client where we did a lot of search around things like women's shoes. It was a large women's shoes retailer. Then when we get into intent, they have a better idea. Women's running shoes. We had like women's boots and women's flats and women's sandals and things like that. You kind of understand where we're at. We're going to see less search demand, but now the consumer has a little better idea what she's looking for. But then when we get down to decision making, like the person who's ready to buy, she's searching by brand, she's searching by style, she's searching by color. She's also searching with what we call that long tail keyword, that longer string, that 3, 4, 5 women's Asics Gel Kayano running shoe. She really knows what she's looking for. So there are going to be fewer searches for that by far. However, you can actually make more money when you rank for something that is further down the sales funnel because the person searching for it has a higher intent to purchase. They're closer to the point of conversion. Does that make sense? So we don't necessarily even want to rank for shoes that's 1.5 million searches a month because they don't really know what they're looking for. But imagine if you could rank in position 1 for women's Asics Gel Kayano, which it's still going to be too big for you and me, my friend. But just imagine for a moment, if you could rank in position 1 for that. Position 1 gets 34% of the traffic on average. So we're going to say, I told you math's not my favorite. It's not like I can wrap that in my head. But let's say 1,500 to 2,000 searches a month. If you got 1,500 searches a month to a website from somebody who wanted to buy tennis shoes, a specific style of tennis shoe, and you sold that style, imagine what that would do for your revenue, for your business. Do you see now how this can all work together to help you grow your business? Even if we don't have a ton of search volume, we can still make money through our websites by using SEO and pairing it with your content. So I really want you to understand, if you can rank high on page 1 for the keyword that your customer is using when they're looking for a solution, they're looking for information, they're looking for something related to your business, you can get more traffic, which should lead to more leads and ultimately more sales as long as your website is converting. So you should be able to do that. The first step of this is to get you the traffic and then to make sure that the content connects with your audience. That's why you really need both. Are you starting to understand why you have to have SEO and content both? Like if you've been blogging and you've not been doing SEO on it, you're wasting your time. Like I really want you to take that one final little step and make sure that you're doing the SEO. And if you're doing SEO and you don't have great engaging traffic or great engaging content, your traffic is not going to stay. So you really need to have both. They're not exclusive. They're not one or the other. They need to go together. They're like PB and J. SEO and content is like PB and J. You need both. They go better together. So we talked a minute ago about the right type of keyword. The right type of keyword is going to be the one that you have the best chance of ranking for, that has the most search volume, that is the most closely tied to a search that your customer has, a question they have that is tied to your business. So you really want to think about those 3 things as you're doing your keyword research. So you can use all sorts of keyword research tools. It's really going to be up to you which one. So the Google keyword tool is the original. That's the one that I learned on and have used for years. It used to be separate. Now it's housed within AdWords. So it is a little challenging to use because you do have to set up an AdWords account. You do have to put your credit card in. You do have to actually set up an ad before you can get to the keyword tool. And I hate that they've done that. So if you do that, make sure you go in and you turn that ad off so that you do not end up being charged for an ad that you really aren't ready to run. Okay, so make sure you're paying close attention to that. I can tell you that once you have it set up, it will just tell you that your credit card is expired, but it will not keep you from using it because the credit card on my account expired like 3 years ago. So don't worry about that. You can also use Keywords Everywhere, which is a Chrome plugin. It has a Chrome plugin. So when you're searching on Chrome, you can actually enable that and it will show you keyword data and related searches and other ideas right on Chrome. Small SEO Tools is a freebie. You can use that. You get a limited number of searches for free. But you can use that one. Moz and SEMrush are more professional SEO tools. They're more expensive. I don't recommend them for you as a small business owner because they're going to cost you at least $100 a month. And you could spend that money in better places doing other things that would make more of a difference for your business. Ubersuggest is the one that most of my students end up using because it's very affordable. It's $29 a month, or you can buy lifetime access for like $2.99 or something like that. I did that just so I've got it forever. It does your rank tracking. It does your keyword research. They have some AI tools in it. Honestly, I don't think they're very good. Maybe they'll get better in time, but I don't find AI tools to be super helpful at this point. Keywords Everywhere does have kind of a cool ChatGPT plugin that I have tested out that is kind of interesting. It does kind of give you some additional ideas. But for right now, like keyword research, don't rely on AI tools to do it for you. But if you want to ask ChatGPT for some ideas of keywords that you could potentially use and tell them like who your audience is and that you want long tail keywords, things that are low competition, they could generate a list of ideas that you could start with, and then you could go into your actual keyword research tool and review it and verify. And then what I want you to do is to go into Google with any keyword that you're thinking about using. And I want you to open what's called an incognito browser window because Google personalizes our results for us when we're logged in and we're searching on a regular basis. So you're liable to see your website rank or show up for something that really truly doesn't show up for other people. So I want you to make sure you're always using an incognito browser window. Go in and search and look and see who shows up on page one for that particular keyword. How similar are they to you? Again, if it's like Finish Line or Zappos or Nordstrom or Etsy, you probably need to go back to the drawing board. Don't waste your time because you're not going to rank for that keyword. And so I don't want you to waste your effort. Honestly, I want you to get results for it. So what determines how a keyword, how a website ranks or where they rank? It's going to be a mix of things. One of the things is going to be your website's authority. So every website has something called a domain authority. It is actually a score that we can see the domain authority of any website using a tool called Mozbar. It's a free Chrome plugin, Mozbar. It's from Moz. Like I said, they're one of the professional SEO tools. Mozbar gives everybody a score on a base of 1 to 100. A new website is always going to be at 1. That's because it's new. It's not yet seen as authoritative in Google's eyes. It has not earned any links. It has not done anything to build the authority of it. A highly authoritative website is going to be at 100. Most websites are going to be, especially small business owners, most of us, our websites are going to be maybe 10 to 15. As we work on it longer, we start doing more. We'll maybe get into the 20s or the 30s. I think mine is currently at 33. I've been working on it for a few years and trying to build the authority. As an example, I'm doing this training class today on Easy Webinar. They're one of the larger webinar sources. Mozbar is telling me right now, Easy Webinar is at a 45. So you will grow your authority over time. And I teach you how to do this following Google's rules inside of Simple SEO content, because building links is one of the most dangerous, but also most profitable, important parts of SEO. But there's a lot of rules around it because there were a lot of people who really took advantage of it probably 10, 12 years ago. So Google ran some algorithm updates and made a bunch of changes about how linking impacts your ability to rank for a keyword. Your content on your website is also going to be a big part of what makes you rank or not rank. Google wants to see your website content be engaging to your audience. And remember, most of us have Google Analytics on our website, which means Google knows whether or not people are engaging with our content. Are they coming? Are they reading multiple pages? Are they spending time on it? Or are they landing here and then popping away really quick because it's not really what they're looking for? So if you don't have high quality content, if you are just using AI content, I promise me, do not just go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a blog post, okay? You will see some people out there who will tell you that's all you have to do for SEO today is just have ChatGPT do it all for you and just publish a post every single day. It is not going to get you the results because Google does not want that content. They have recently changed their overall guidance. We were previously told a year and a half ago, we were told no AI content. They have updated it. They have changed it. You can use AI tools to help you. You can use them for brainstorming. You can use them for ideation. You can use it for topic ideas. I taught a bonus on this in Simple SEO content recently for my students. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. Do not ever just publish something that you get from ChatGPT or from any other AI writing tool. It is not the level of quality that Google wants. You can tell an AI tool versus a traditionally written post. So use it as help, but don't publish direct because it's not going to be the quality that Google is looking for. So when it comes to Google and the algorithm and content, Google has several different things they filter it through. One is query deserves freshness, QDF. I know, super weird acronym, but query deserves freshness means they don't want your post from 2018 to be the one that they show. They want people to get relevant, new, updated answers. So this is something I teach you how to do inside of the class. When you have posts that are older, that are still working, there's a process we go through so that they stay fresh, so that we meet QDF. The other thing is the updated algorithm through Google is referred to as the helpful content algorithm update. So Google looks at every piece of content that you create with the lens of the consumer. Is this content helpful to the consumer? Because Google needs to make sure that they are continuing to provide the absolute best search results, or they will not be the go-to online search engine for consumers. And the way that Google makes money is by selling ads. So if people no longer use Google, they go to Bing, they go to DuckDuckGo, they go to an alternative, Google's market share will go down. Their ad revenue will go down. Their stock will go down. So Google is not going to show what they deem to be poor results because they need to protect their market space and they need to protect their consumer base. The person searching in Google is not yet your customer, they're Google's customer, and Google wants to know that they're showing websites that they can trust, that they're going to get good information so that their customer keeps coming back. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. The consumer experience, so how they experience your website. Is it easy to navigate? Is the information they need there? Are you helpful if they have a question? And then keyword targeting. What keywords are you ranking for? What keywords are you trying to rank for? What are you targeting? Have you done your optimization the right way? So there's a lot that goes into how does a website rank. The other thing we're going to talk about, I believe it's tomorrow, it may be on Friday, are additional updates from Google, newer algorithms, and really what they look at every single page of your website under the lens that they look at it so that they really understand how good this content is. So really creating really good content that focuses on your ideal customer and then optimizing it for Google is the core of getting results and getting free traffic to your website without ads. You really want to make sure that you're doing all of this together. And this is what I teach you in Simple SEO content. If you decide you're able to join me in there, you're ready to do this. This is the content strategy. This is the way that I teach you. And by the end of the class, you're going to have your content calendar for the next quarter. You're going to know what you're writing about. You're going to know how to optimize it, how to choose the keywords, and you're going to be able to keep going forward. And then I'm there to answer all the questions that pop up when you're working on it, because I promise you questions are going to arise. That's why I meet with my students twice a month, and I have a weekly question and answer post right in the group because questions pop up. I had one gal who took it last January who actually popped up a couple weeks ago saying, okay, I don't quite understand what's going on with this particular post that I wrote. Can you look at it with me? It's like, yeah, of course. That's why you're here. All right. I think that's about the end. We have one more slide. So I talked a little bit about this through the course of it, but just as a reminder why it matters that we do SEO and why we need to rank high, 99.7% of all searchers are only going to look at page 1. They're only going to look at those listings in 1 through 10. So we really need to make sure that we're choosing keywords where we have a better chance of being in positions 1 through 10. The majority, 60% of those people who are going to search are going to visit the websites that are in positions 1, 2, or 3. So the higher we are on page 1, the more traffic we will get. If you're not at the top of page 1, you're really going to struggle to get traffic. And if you're not doing SEO properly, you're going to struggle to get traffic on a regular basis because Google is not going to trust your website the same way that it trusts another one. And then your homework for tonight, I'm going to go back through the questions in just a minute. I want you to use what you learned today to look at the keywords that you brainstormed last night in another light. With this information, do you think you're on the right track, or do you maybe need to refine a little bit? Generally, we find we need to refine a little bit. So if you find that, you looked at it and you're like, I don't think I can rank for that, don't feel bad. Just go back through and do the process again using what you've learned in class today. All right, I've got some questions I'm going to go through real quick. Any thoughts on the tool ScaleNet? I am not familiar with that one. I'll have to look it up and see what I can find. What I always tell my students is use the one that you are the most comfortable with, that you like, because the reality is they should all be getting the same data from Google. So as long as their keyword data is Google and it is relevant, meaning it's recent data within the last 12 months, you're fine to use whatever tool you want. They're different ones. They do different things. They have different setups. They have different price points. It does not truly matter. Use the one that you find the most comfortable, because I know keyword research tools can feel a little confusing. Sometimes they don't have the best user interface. So if you find one that you like, you use that. Building links, do you mean within your site and the pages you link to? So it's actually both, Sabrina. So within our site, if we're writing a blog post and we're linking to a page in our site, that's what we refer to as an internal link. We have complete control over those. Those are links that we should be adding on our website, in our blog posts and stuff. And that's something that I teach in Simple SEO content. I teach you exactly how to do that. Those we can control. Those do not impact your domain authority the same way that an external link does. An external link is somebody else linking from their website to your website saying, hey, this is a really good website for this thing. And so Google sees it as kind of a little support or a little, good job, something. It's an indication that they think that your site is a good one. And so Google should go over and look at this one as well. When we build links, we have to be really careful. So I'm sure you've probably all gotten the emails from people saying, I can build these links for you for free, or not for free. Nobody's going to build links for free, but for $200 a month, I can get you this many links or whatever. Do not ever buy links, okay? Don't do it. If you're talking to an SEO company and they tell you it's $2,000 a month and they guarantee you get X number of links, do not do it. Those are not going to be good links. They are going to break the rules. Google, like I told you, probably 12 years ago, we had the algorithm update, and I never can remember, Panda versus Penguin. Google attacked us with black and white animals back in like 2012 timeframe. One is about the content quality. One is about the links. I never can remember which is which, Panda, Penguin. They came right after each other, real close together. If you're buying links, you're cheating the system. Google wants you to earn links. You want to think of links, your link profile for your website, you want to think of it as your neighborhood. You only want to play in your lane. You want to make sure that the websites that are linking to you are really good ones. Years ago, we had something called link farms, and they were these nasty old websites that would have like links to 9 million different things on them, and you could just buy a link And if you got enough links, you could rank for anything you wanted, which was not good because it didn't give a good user experience, which is what Google's trying to protect, because people were going to go to the site and be like, this is crap. This is not helpful at all. So that's why Google has made the changes that they have. Link building is critical and risky, and I only teach you the way to do it that I do it for my website that does not risk getting in trouble with Google, because you get a penalty for link building, you're dead. Your website might as well not exist. So it's not worth risking. Building links. Quick question. I built my website with WordPress, and I've seen they offer different options for SEO. Is there anything you would recommend? So Esther, on WordPress, use the Yoast SEO plugin. Use the free one. It's fine. You don't need to pay for one. The Yoast SEO one. So in the course, I generally teach to WordPress or Squarespace because those are the primary ones that most of the students have. Any website builder at this point in time, they all can do SEO with the exception of the GoDaddy website builder. If you have a GoDaddy website builder website, the last I looked, you could not do title tags, meta descriptions, header tags, etc. So that's the only one where I say it's probably not worth doing it right now. Get yourself off that platform. But the others have done much better. Years ago, I would have told you had to be on WordPress, but today, different ones work fine. On WordPress, go ahead and use Yoast free, Yoast SEO free plugin. Don't bother paying for it. You don't need to. Sabrina, are search volumes under 100 worthwhile to target for blog posts? Yes, absolutely. Because that 100, remember, if you can get in position 1, that's approximately 34 visits. If you do that and you create like 50 blog posts a year, now we're getting, if we've got 34 times 50, I used to have a slide on this and I pulled it out. I need to put it back in. So if we had 34 times 50, that would be 1,700 visits potentially from those blog posts. And then we add the next year and the next year and the next year. So, and that ends up being each month, because that 100 searches is monthly. So if I have 50 different blog posts that all have 34 visits a month coming, that's potentially 1,700 visits a month just from my blog posts. And then next year I do it and I have that next set. And the next year I do it and I have that next set. That's why we say that SEO is kind of like your retirement account. You know how you put in, and it doesn't really seem like there's anything happening for a long time. And then one day you look and you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to be able to eat when I retire, and I might even be able to take a vacation. Look at how that went from nothing to a whole lot. SEO is kind of the same way. It feels like there's just nothing happening for a while. It does take a little while. I'm going to be really honest. You're going to see small results for a while, and then all of a sudden it's going to boom, and you're going to be like, I was so smart to start SEO when I did, because I see people all the time and they're like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try it on my own. I'm going to do it. And then a year later, they come in, they take the class again, they join up. This time they pay, they take the paid class, and they're like, I really wish I would have done this last year, because I just spent the last year trying to do it on my own. And now I'm realizing I made mistakes and I need to go back and I need to redo what I just spent the last year trying to do, because I still got no results. And it's like, I just, do yourself a favor. When we open on Friday, when we open for enrollment, if it's in the budget, if you can make it work, join me, because it's going to make it a lot easier, and we're going to get you moving in the right direction now. So you're not one of those that's coming in a year from now, having tried it and not gotten everything to work the right way. Let me see. Search volume under 100 makes sense. Just building game to get there. Yes, absolutely. It is just a building game. It is just going to take a little time. And what we're doing, and we're going to talk more about competitive niches, because Sabrina, you're in real estate. It's competitive. There are things that we do to work within that competitive niche to be able to find better opportunities for you. Melissa, it's more like, yeah, the more you do, kind of like dominoes. The more they like you, the more they like you. Yeah, as Google gets to know you and sees that your site is a good one and they trust you and you're building your authority because you're building the links the right way and you're doing all of the pieces together, you will start ranking for more keywords. I have a client I've been working with since 2018, so we're going on year 6. He is a single business. They own a Montessori preschool in a suburb of Houston. They're not a big business. We have been working on their website for years. We don't have a huge domain authority. We still average in that like 12 to 14 range. We've been working on it, but we kind of move up, we kind of move down a little bit. They rank in position number 1 for like 25 keywords that are related to their business. We rank for Montessori terms. We rank for Montessori preschool. We rank for all sorts of stuff. And then we also rank for non-Montessori terms. We've been working for several years to rank for things like daycare and preschool. It took a while because we were like in the 20s and 30s. We're now ranking on page 1 for the preschool terms. We're doing really good. The daycare terms have been hard because it was a different competitive set, but we've gotten daycare to the bottom of page 1, which neither one of us was sure was going to happen when we started a few years ago. So it is one of those things where it just keeps growing and it just keeps working. Is the class only open year round or is it once a year? So I believe that you need to be able to take an SEO class when you're ready. So I do these big classes 2 or 3 times a year. And that's where we have a big group of students come in. But over the course of the year, there is an evergreen webinar. There is a recorded webinar that students can take that will give them a chance to join us already in progress, basically. So if you can't do it right now, you can join when you're ready. Just go through the recorded free training class that's always on the website, and that'll give you the invitation. But I do find when you come in with a large group at once, it's actually really nice for students because they start to get to know each other better. We see some similarities, there's some commonalities within the businesses. I've had several that have kind of partnered up and had brainstorm sessions together because they were both crafters or they were both realtors. They were in different markets, they did different things, but they really understood each other's businesses and stuff. It's still a small group. There's like 35 or so students in there. So it's not a real big group, but it's fantastic and supportive and friendly, and nobody's looking to steal your ideas. Everybody's just trying to help you. And then I'm there to answer your questions and to help get you pointed in the right direction and make sure that you're going to get results for the work that you're doing. All right, that's it for me today. I do want to thank you so much for being here. Be sure and join me tomorrow, same time. You will get the email with the link tomorrow that will show you how to get in. It'll be a new link for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to walk through step by step what to do on your website with that keyword. So remember tonight's homework, do a refresher, a little review of your keywords. All right, thanks so much. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you back here tomorrow, ladies. Bye for now. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform. That would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.